Hello, and thank you for checking out our sales meeting that was recorded on April 15th. You'll get market insights, training tips, and motivation to get up and moving with your business. Short on time, we have a guide below with some timestamps so that you can skip to the part that interests you the most. This sales meeting is just a snapshot of the way Premier Plus Realty pivoted our unwavering broker support during the pandemic. We hope you walk away understanding a little bit more about the heart and culture of this brokerage. Interested in learning about why so many agents choose to hang their license at Premier Plus Realty? Just fill out the form below and schedule a confidential call to see what your business would look like at Premier Plus Realty. Enjoy.
Can you see me now?
We can see you, we can hear you.
Awesome. Good morning, everyone. Glad to be here in a different format, but glad to be able to do this and bring you some information and just continue to get engaged and continue to move forward as a big family that we are. I'm here to talk, as I typically do on this company meetings, about statistics. The statistics that I have available, unfortunately, are the statistics that end at the end of February. I always make this disclosure because we all want to see what's going on right now. But we're going to get into that a little bit. But I want to share with you, although not quite as relevant, but still part of the marketplace, what's happened all the way to the end of February, which are the stats that the board is publishing right now and that we have available to compare. So if Nikki can switch us into the next slide, please. So here is a brief recap, pretty concise, all in one slide, and I hope you all can see it. The Collier County market. So what are we looking at? Well, we look at February. Year over year, 2019 to 2020. The single family market, if you look at new listings, the market has brought down the total percentage of new listings year over year by 5.5%. I don't know if you can see my cursor. I believe you're seeing Nikki's, right? So
what would you like me to point at?
Right up the top. I'm on the February column. There
February.
You go. Awesome. So that's what I'm talking about right there. February percentage of change. If you look at pending sales by the end of February, our pending sales were skyrocketing, 52.8% year over year increase. That's amazing. Closed sales as well, just always following those pending deals, 25.6 up, and the rest of the numbers. If we look down, we look at the condo market, same thing, February, year over year, 35.6% increase on the pending sales, fantastic, and closed sales just as close, 34.4. So these numbers in Collier County, fantastic. I mean, we're kicking, you know what, and everything was just moving right along. If we can please switch to the Lee County.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So now we're looking at the same numbers. We go into February, year over year, new listings, the market still showing some shrinkage, not major, but 5% as well in Lee County. Pending sales up by 37.5%. Closed sales up 15.9%. So we go down to the condo market. We look at the same exact replication. 5.3% of shrinkage on inventory, 40.7 on pending sales, up from last year, 21.3 up in closed sales. So, I mean, end of February, there's this, I don't need to show you the slides. You all know that we were having a terrific market at that point. Things were doing great. Here comes March. Obviously, we don't have those statistics until probably the end of this month. Somewhere in between the 20th and the 25th of each month, it's when the boards are publishing what the recap is for the prior month. So come this event that we're dealing with and the situation where the market has changed, everything has changed, our lives have changed. We're looking at what's going on with the real estate market. How is this all impacting my business? Well, I want to be able to give you some ideas on how you can look at data that's pertaining and relevant to what's going on right now. So if I may share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go here. And what I want to do is I want to go right into Matrix. Can you all see my screen?
I can see your screen, yes.
You can see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
Other people are saying yes as well.
Awesome. Problem is I can't see it. Bear with me, I'll find it. It's in here someplace. Okay. Okay, we're looking at Matrix, right? So if you go into search, select cross property, and as you do that, instead of active listings, we're going to check pending deals. Pending with contingency, pending without. I don't want to see 120 days. I want to see what's happened in the past 2 weeks. So I'm going to go 0 to 14 days, and I'm going to do the same on pendings. And look what you see, 947, 951 actually, pending deals have come into the market. This is through the 3 boards, Royal Palm Coast, Bear, and Neighbor. So you're looking at everything in Lee and Collier that's come into the MLS as a pending deal in the past 14 days. That's a lot of pending deals. Some people are doing business. Let's flip this from land and lots to the opposite end, multi-million-dollar properties. Let's look at midpoints, 350. So in essence, what you're seeing here, it's that we've been at home now for close to 30 days, if not 30 days. Some people started a little earlier, some people started a little later. So let's just say 30 days. We're looking at data here that's just 14 days old. So think about how are these agents getting to a pending from home? Because the past 2 weeks, pretty much everyone's working from home. So I'm just trying to expand the mind. This is a way that you can actually gauge what's going on today. It doesn't put it in a recap like we just looked over the February stats. It doesn't give you the pretty graphs and all that, but it gives you an idea that business is still happening, and you can go ahead and check this at any time. You can go in there and do the same thing, cross properties, search, and look at how many new listings are coming in. 0 to 14, oops. And you see 1,606 new listings have come in between Lee and Collier County in the past 14 days. That's amazing. And these are the numbers that are readily available for us to look at any given time. You can narrow this down by the communities that you're interested in learning more about, the particular market areas that you're servicing, the particular anything. You know how to use the MLS, so you guys know that you can just pinpoint exactly what area, what market area you're interested in learning about turnover and what's going on today, right now. But I just want to remind you of something, and I'm going to stop sharing my my screen. Just want to remind you that this business is about people. It always has, it always will. This is the time to continue building your relationships. I recall when I was selling full-time back in 07, 08, 09, when the market crashed. And that was a time where I remember calling my people, my customers, the people I had helped already buy and sell real estate, and say, hey, how you doing? How things going? How are you making it? There were a lot of people that were in dire need of help. People had lost their jobs and things were not going quite well. Well, guess what? That was a time for me to help them do a short sale, help them get out of the situation that they were in, whatever it was, and be able to move into a rental. I'm not suggesting that this is what's going to happen market-wise right now. We don't know. We all want to know, but there's no magic ball or anything that we can go to and say, oh, here's the answer. We know what's going to happen. We can forecast next month, 2, 3. Not the case. I wish I could. Not the case. So what I'm trying to go back to is just the basics of this business. This business is about people. Take this time to continue furthering your relationships with your customers. Those folks that you've been engaged with a potential buy situation or sell situation, perfect time to call and say, hey, how are you? How you doing? How can I be of help? Can I provide you additional information about those communities that you were interested in? And, you know, let them tell you, because I wouldn't call someone and say, hey, how you doing when this is over? Are we going to be able to pick it up where we were and just move forward? They probably don't know, and neither do we. So why not just be there for them in their situation right now and say, hey, how can I help? How can I provide you any kind of service at this stage with the tools and resources that we have available, and further that relationship? Because trust me, when this is done and over with, and it will be, you will have an opportunity to continue doing business with them, regardless of what their needs may be at that point. So just don't take the moment for granted. This is the time to further educate ourselves, further develop better skill set with our technology, our resources, the way that how are these folks doing all this business? Some of you are the ones that are impacting these numbers. I know that, but we all want to learn. We all want to do more. So how do we build those numbers up for us as individual agents and also for the marketplace? It's just by polishing our skill sets, and more than anything, continue building relationships. So that's all I got for you. If you have any questions, Nikki, please let me know.
Awesome. Yeah, we really want to present those questions, everyone. So if anything came up while Victor was sharing, please go ahead and type those in the Q&A. Lonnie says, thank you, Victor.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Lonnie.
Ina says, I've actually found that people actually have the time to talk.
Absolutely.
And let's see what else. Philip Rigsby says, call and text everyone.
Yep, and he does it well.
Okay, I don't see any questions popping up right now, but Victor will be here. So if you guys come up with anything for him, please go ahead and throw that in there. And if you have someone specifically that you want to ask a question of, put their name in the question too, so we know who to direct that to. All right,
Awesome.
Thanks, Victor. And
Thank you.
I'm actually going to ask Lisa Perry to turn her video on. She is joining us from Wild Blue, which is a WCI Lennar community. We actually did a sales meeting from Wild Blue a couple of months ago. It was amazing plan that they have going on there for this community. Unbelievable amenities. And so let me see, Lisa, are you on here?
I'm clicking on start video, but it says the host has stopped it. So I think you have to unlock me on your side.
Okay.
There we go. Hi.
We can see you.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank you so much for the opportunity of being able to get up this morning, put makeup on, brush my hair, get out of my pajamas. I'm just kidding. But I did put a little bit more makeup on today. Again, thank you for the opportunity. Wow, the new wave of the future. This is pretty cool stuff. And I'm so glad to be a part of it. Premier Plus and the Realtor partners with Premier Plus has always been very close to my heart. Well, I want to start, and thank you, Victor, for that good news, and definitely great advice about dialing into your folks now is such a crucial time to keep in touch with people. As you said, Victor, we don't know where this is going in the future, but we, as my mother always says, this too will pass, it will pass. And those folks really dialing now and texting and contacting their folks. Those folks are gonna, of course, if they're not in the market now, going to return to the market. We're part of Florida, and that's where folks wanna be, especially Southwest Florida. That being said, great news on the Wild Blue plane. We sold 7 inventory homes last week alone. We have several ready to move in homes. Nikki, I did send you an email this morning that put together all of the pertinent marketing material that you see in these packets. You now have electronic files. Also want to let you know, again, going into newer technology and a bit of this COVID disruption we're having today, we are going to do virtual tours. We are rolling out our self-guided tours of our models. Of course, I will be a part of that if the buyer or yourself elects me to, and we do wear the proper masks and sanitations and things that we have to go through today. But the self-guided tours are pretty cool. They can go to our website and log in for this self-guided tour. It creates an appointment for them. It gives them the code to the model so they can let themselves in, knowing after every appointment that is held, we are sanitizing the models. They'll give you a lot of the information on our website, the Lennar website, for these self-guided tours. We just got our new lock systems yesterday, so they'll be rolling out within the next day or two. That being said, new construction is essential, and we are open by appointment. And there's some critical questions, of course, that we need to ask. But I'm here for you. I'm here to help you and your buyers. We have some brand new home sites we just released on the Wild Blue Lake with beautiful southeast exposure. You'll notice the price points from our previous releases. They did increase, not decrease. We actually went up $100,000 on our home site premiums. And we'll probably see that continue as we release around the lake in these great view areas of the lake. But right now, still can get on the lake with a 32 to 3,500 square foot home, pool, beautiful options, very much outfitted like our models at under $1 million. Which is pretty amazing for this type of community. And I do across the street have what we call preserve waterfront. It doesn't connect to the main lake, but it is going to start in the 700 range up to about the mid 8s. And again, nicely outfitted homes with pools. I am able to sell currently the Vista Wild Blue product, where we do have quite a few move-in ready homes. Those 7 that I mentioned did sell in the Vista area. They're giving some great buyer incentives. I don't have to tell you about rates right now, amazing rates. And you know, like I said, I want you to know I'm here for you, whatever you need from me to help with your clients or yourself. Just let me know. I don't know if you have any questions. Again, I put a lot of the information via email that would come in marketing packets to you, Nikki, to disperse to the realtor partners.
That's fantastic. We will be happy to share that with them in our communications. I appreciate it so much. Everything's going online, right? All right, we are open for questions for you all. If you have some for Wild Blue is hashtag goals for our family. Love that community, someone said.
Hey, Lisa, Eric Ellis here. Is the sales team working by appointment only?
Yes, I mean, we usually have one associate on site, but it is by appointment only. We do have some guidelines we have to work by. We as associates will be wearing our masks, of course, that they've provided us. We ask that our clients do wear some sort of mask as well. We do not want more than 4 people in the model at one time, just to practice the social distancing. But yes, we are working in the models, and of course prefer appointments so that we can make sure that we're prepared for your clients or yourself.
All right, we have a question from Todd Golnick. How many inventory homes do you currently have?
Currently, we have approximately, and I did put that on that list, but I want to say completed, ready to move in, we only have 3 on the Wild Blue WCI side. Vista side, we do have quite a few that are ready to move in, as well as under construction. And again, WCI does have some homes that are under construction. We've been very successful in this community, especially on the Wild Blue Lake. So our inventory homes have moved quite rapidly. And again, like last week, we sold 7 in Vista. So I can get you the total numbers. The Wild Blue WCI side will be in the marketing material I sent to Nikki.
Great. Another question. Can you repeat the $700,000 to $850,000 homes? Are they water view, and if so, which lake?
Okay, so our $750,000 to $850,000 homes are actually on the preserve. So they are going to be facing the preserve. Many of them full southern exposure, but there is a canal system there. So there is water behind the home and then the preserve side. So you still have a water view. It's not the lake view. It's not a boatable lake as Wild Blue and Vista and Indigo is. However, it is still a very pretty view, very private, again, southern exposure. What I love about that preserve area too, especially for our nature lovers, I've taken photos of deer frolicking along the back side of the preserve, eagle eating on the sides of the water, the fish that they caught in it. It's really pretty cool to watch that out the back of your home.
Awesome. Okay, then not familiar with Wild Blue, as my customers typically want west of I-75, but this looks great. Is there a golf course there or one close by to join?
Very good question. We are a boating community, very much like Miramar Lakes and the Quarry in Naples. So we are not a golf course community. However, that being said, we have several golf courses on the Corkscrew corridor. There's Old Corkscrew, one can golf at. There is Beza that's open to memberships right next door to us. Wildcat Run is also open for memberships. Stony Brook is open to the public, as well as Country Creek, which is an executive course that is also open to the public. So lots of availability in the golf arena.
Awesome. Okay, then any restrictions on advertising Wild Blue on the internet?
I have not been told that there are. In fact, I've had several agents come out, do drone flyovers. They've got specific websites on Wild Blue. So we have not seen any restrictions as far as advertising. Of course, doing anything on the MLS would have to be approved and signed by our broker, Dave Myers. They are doing some test pilots on releasing a few of our homes on the MLS through individual agents. I understand the criteria of being in the lineup for this, or the queue, is that you have sold significant amount of homes in Lennar's communities as a whole. And that is kind of how they're handpicking some of the agents that are able to list some of our inventory homes on the MLS.
Awesome. Great. Okay, it looks like that is the end of the questions for now. I appreciate you
Thank
so
you so
much,
much
Lisa.
for having me today.
Wish we
You
could
all
be
stay
sitting in
safe
your
and be
model.
well.
Wish we could be sitting in your model for this.
Yes, I know. Next time.
Yeah, next time. All right. Thank you, Lisa. And
Thank you.
we have attorney Josh Rudnick in the queue waiting to join us. Let me make sure he has his video turned on. Let's find him. Josh, are you here? There he is.
How's everyone doing? Can you hear me?
We can.
All right. Such a better picture than what it looks like when you haven't had a haircut in a month and a half. So I do like you having that picture up there of me. I hope everyone's doing well. I just kind of, I know Victor's presentation was great, and we're starting to see on our end actually new contracts coming in. I think there was a little bit of a lull. You know, they're not coming in at February pace, which I mean was expected, but we're starting to, the good news is we are seeing contracts coming in. We're seeing people taking listings, you know, so there is some activity. We have been getting calls from a lot of, I've actually gotten a lot of calls from investor clients of mine saying, hey, do you think it's a good time for me to start hitting the pavement looking for some investment property? So it's good. I mean, I think a lot of the people that are sitting on the sidelines with cash are starting to come back. So so it is promising. As far as what we're seeing in the office internally, aside from new business, you know, there is still terminations going on. I mean, what I've seen lately is most buyers, if they are financing a deal and they're in some type of due diligence period or evaluating whether to move forward on the deal or not. You know, we've seen a lot of price negotiations. We have seen a lot of delays in closings, which isn't always a bad thing as long as the deal stays alive. But we are seeing terminations coming in still. We're seeing people terminate deals, but it's not as much as we saw the last week in March, where it just seemed like every other deal was getting terminated. But it is, I think people are starting to, you know, countrywide, it's starting to settle in. Everyone's getting adjusted to the new way of life. You know, people are starting to adapt, but I think we're starting to see some activity and a little uptick in activity actually. So you know, we're optimistic in our office of what's going on, but we're also being realistic and, you know, cautious as well, which I think the entire country is doing. As far as your practices and your business and your contracts, we are getting all kinds of questions every day. And it's not just buyers wanting to terminate deals. We have had sellers. I had a question this morning on a Canadian seller who wants to just terminate the contract because he can't move. He can't get down here and move and stuff. And, you know, unfortunately, he doesn't have that right to terminate the deal, but they did sign one of the COVID addendums. So we will be able to delay this. And if it goes beyond the addendum he signed, if it goes beyond 30 days past the scheduled closing date, then, you know, he'll be able to terminate the deal. But we're trying to do everything we can to, on every contract, we are doing everything we can to keep the deals alive, work out, you know, making sure parties are reasonable. And for the most part, what I've seen is most buyers and sellers are reasonable. Most agents are getting people to play nice in the sandbox, as we continually say in the office. So, which is good. You know, I think it's made all of our lives a little harder to keep the deals moving forward. Closings are certainly a little more challenging on our end with stay-at-home orders, social distancing, but it is what I really like is coming out of this is that people are actually being nice and reasonable. Everyone is calm to you know, the most part. I mean, people are still a little crazy out there, but we're seeing people staying calm, collected, and you know, I think it's part of the reason is a lot of us have a lot more time on our hands than we did in February and March, where we felt like we were just holding on to a freight train and trying to just keep it on its tracks. But but I think that if everyone just keeps doing what they're doing, everyone keeps staying in the game, staying reasonable and rational, I think that it'll help with your transactions and keeping them moving forward and keeping new business coming in. Obviously, adapting to today's times is going to be challenging for probably, I don't think we're ever going to see it go back to normal. I mean, I can't remember the last time I shook someone's hand, so we'll see if that, that ever happens again. But, we are seeing stuff, it looks promising in the horizon. So one thing I do want to tell agents regarding your commission, yes, I am a hugger. I can't see your comments as you type them. So I have not hugged anyone either, Jonathan. So I'm sorry. But one thing I do want to tell agents with regard to your commissions, if you are a direct pay, get those wire instructions to the closing agents. Make sure you do, make sure you get the wire instructions, make sure you follow whatever steps and procedures the closing agents have with respect to wiring your commissions. Because of fraud, all closing agents, attorneys, title companies, we have to go through extra steps. So if you are asking that your commission is wired, you have to make sure you get that to the closing agent, not after the closing has occurred and the checks have already been cut. So make sure your commission estoppels, if you're getting them wired, you fill out wire instructions. Some closing agents, our office as well, do require our wiring of commissions and our instructions notarized, which I know can be a hassle for people, but it's for security purposes because of wire fraud. And with respect to wire fraud, anytime there's any type of issue, I mean, I'm talking nationwide issue, a pandemic, some type of catastrophe like a hurricane, the people that commit fraud start capitalizing on that. So be careful. We are seeing new schemes of wire fraud, computer hacking coming in with COVID. So you are going to have to go through extra steps, unfortunately, but it's for your protection. But if you are, like I said, my point is, if you want to get your commissions paid the day of closing and you have a direct pay that's signed off by your broker, get it to your closing agents, get wire instructions ahead of time. Regarding your contracts and the NABOR contract and the COVID addendum, the new form of the COVID addendum is finalized. It has changed. I think it's changed. The change is a better change. I don't think it's great, but it's a better change from what it was. It took out, if everyone recalls, originally it had that 10-day, once the COVID restriction is lifted, then everything occurs in 10 days after that. So, which obviously created a problem. The new addendum now tolls all the time periods. So your inspection periods are tolled, your title review period, closing date, due diligence period. So what that means is the clock does not start tolling or start until the COVID restriction is lifted. There is some limitations with respect to that. I mean, nothing is perfect. I don't think anyone can draft something that's totally perfect with respect to COVID. But just be aware that there is a new addendum out there. My advice to everyone is be cautious using it. Make sure your parties seek legal advice when signing those addendums and make sure everyone understands what the addendum says. So take time. It's one page. We all probably have some time now to read over stuff. So read it over, make sure you understand what you're signing or you're having your customer sign. But it is a better form from what originally was released. The amendment has not changed. FAR has not changed their amendment or the FAR amendment for COVID. So just keep in mind those forms for you guys to use during this. It's not required that you use it. And like I said, I mean, whether you use it or not is really your customer's choice. So, but it is a better form addendum than what we saw the weeks prior. And that's pretty much all the updates that we really have, other than, one thing I will tell everyone and caution every agent on is, we still have agents out there that are giving, from what I quote, is legal advice. Do not give your customers legal advice. Even though you may think you're helping them, you may be hurting them. I've had 2 calls in the past 3 days where buyers and sellers called me stating that an agent or various agents have told them what their legal rights would be if they proceed into litigation, which is, is very concerning for me that agents are doing that. Luckily, there were not any Premier Plus agents, so you guys are off the hook today. But just be careful with that. I've had people thinking they can tie up properties if they're a buyer and they want their deposit return and the seller's not willing to give it back, and they think they can tie up the seller's property even though the buyer has no intention of moving forward. We have seen buyers pull their loan applications from lenders and then try to use the financing contingencies of their contracts as a way to get out. And we have caught those buyers doing that, and because the lenders have explained why the buyer was denied. So in those situations, be very careful. Make sure your customers are talking to their attorneys before they start doing anything like that. That one situation happened yesterday, and the buyer is going to lose his $25,000 deposit. So that is all I have today, but if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
We do have a couple.
Okay.
Agnes Tabor asks, how are you addressing the comment from sellers? COVID-19 amendment is for the buyer benefit.
Well, it is to a certain extent, I think, for both parties' benefit. I don't think it's just for the buyer's benefit. The COVID amendments, as I think I've told everyone in the past, it does allow a buyer an out with respect to financing if the contract was contingent on financing. So it does give the buyer some additional protections in the event the lender cannot fund the transaction due to a COVID restriction. But like I said, I mean, the amendment does help both parties. Sellers are delayed just as much as buyers in signing documents, getting notaries, getting documents delivered, moving out of their houses and stuff. So there is benefit. But like I said, we have to look at it a case-by-case basis. I have to look at, who my client is. If my client is a seller and the buyer has financing and the buyer just needs an extra 30 days for closing, and my seller's here at Naples, I may say, well, let's just sign a closing date amendment and not change any of the other terms. If I have a buyer that's financing a transaction, I may use the COVID amendment for an extension, give them an extra out in the event the lender cannot fund the transaction due to COVID.
Okay. Katie Erickson asks, are you guys all seeing the usual timelines on contracts coming in with inspection periods, closings, etc.?
Yeah, we are. We're seeing people still thinking they can get a closing done in 5 days. We have had that happen. Cash buyers are, like I said, we do have some cash buyers looking for deals out there. So they're looking for an investment. So they're coming in with a low ball offer, but quick closings and stuff. But we are seeing stuff on the same timeline. I am telling people, if there's an association involved, give yourself at least 30 days to get these closings done. Associations are delayed just as much as everyone else. They're working remotely, the management companies, they may not be able to get stuff signed off. So we are seeing delays. Unfortunately, if we ever have to deal with the IRS on a transaction with IRS liens and stuff, the IRS is literally, no one answers the phone right now at the IRS. They're busy processing those refunds or that tax or that credit, that check that's going out. So, and they're working, I think, at 50% capacity right now. So the IRS has always been slow. So we are seeing issues with getting releases of IRS liens on properties. But we are seeing the timelines. I mean, people are, 30, 45 day closings. We're seeing that come in. I think on finance transactions, I still like the 60-day closing, but we haven't seen the timelines really. We haven't seen many 180, 90-day closings coming in.
Okay. All right. So we do have a question from Jim Shaw.
Okay.
And he said this is for anyone, and we'll see if you have a response to this. He says the county commissioners met to discuss closing the county about 2 weeks ago. We were told real estate would not be considered an essential business under the county order. Any update from anyone on the possibility of the commissioners calling an emergency meeting and shutting us down?
Well, the governor has already issued an executive stay-at-home order for the entire state. And in that executive order, they adopted the Homeland Security's definition of what essential services are. So you all fall within those essential services. So you still can operate. I do not think the county is now needs to do anything because we have a statewide stay-at-home order. I really believe the county I don't foresee them having an emergency meeting to adopt additional restrictions of essential businesses. I think we are seeing people abiding by the stay-at-home order. From if anyone was in on our call on Monday night, we had the Jim Bloom from the Sheriff's Department, who's the head of the COVID. He's tasked with handling the Collier County Sheriff's Department's response to COVID. And he's saying that he doesn't see any other additional orders or stay-at-home orders or restrictions coming on. So I don't think that you're going to have to deal with that. I think as far as, whatever the governor has issued is going to stay in place, but you are considered essential services right now.
Fantastic. That's good news.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Good
Agnes,
for all of us.
yeah, Agnes Tabor says, "Hi Josh, good to see you
Hi.
rescheduled the assembly to November. Looking forward to that day."
Yes, we had to reschedule our assembly till November. The Ritz-Carlton, I don't know when it's going to be opened up again, and we felt it's probably best to not have 400 people in one room in June.
Might be frowned upon.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, anybody else have any questions? I don't see anything coming up here in chat or Q&A, so I think we
All right, good. Well,
may be in the clear.
that's good. I hope everyone is staying healthy and safe, surviving this stay at home. If you're working from home, working remotely, I think a lot of us are enjoying it. If we can, you can be more efficient. You don't have to take a shower. You don't have to change your clothes. You just start working in your pajamas, which is always, a nice break. But I do know that, we're all anxious to start getting back to normal, but I think it'll happen. I think we're probably looking, hopefully by May, everything will start going back to normal. And, but if there's anything anybody needs or, let us know at the office. We're still there. We're fully staffed. Half of our staff is working remotely. Half of the staff is in the office. But as far as agents go, if you, like I said, I know everyone is, concerned about commission checks and stuff. So if you get your direct pay signed off and get your wire instructions, we'll be wiring those commissions to you the day of closing, so you can get paid a lot faster. All right. Good seeing you, Nikki. I haven't seen anyone else, but I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Thanks. Okay, thank you, Josh, so much. And next on the agenda, we have market leader Jonathan Garrick in the queue, and he is ready to go. Hey, Jonathan, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Great. Great to see you face to face.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you for having me this morning.
All right, I am going to mute myself and let you move on to bigger and better things.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. This morning, you guys know about our 671 process. I'm not going to really go into that. I wanted to share something a little different. We recently had John Maxwell on yesterday, and I'm also going to post it in the Premier Plus Realty Facebook page. When I tell you it's an hour worth of your time, it is an hour's worth of your time. The nuggets, the stuff that he talked about, the questions from other politicians and leaders throughout the country that were asking him, and his answers were just incredible. So I will be sharing that. If you didn't see that yesterday, and I think we posted it in there, but if not, we'll post it in there again. And so I just wanted to share some updates with regards to what you're all experiencing right now as a person. Our leader, Casey Crawford, has really been pouring into us, the leaders of movement. And he and John Maxwell both say the same thing, that leadership is influence and influence is leadership. Nothing more, nothing less. A lot of us, and a lot of you on this call, don't think of yourself as a leader, maybe because of a title that you don't have. But each and every one of you, especially the realtors on this call, you are leaders. You lead a process, you lead borrowers, you lead other agents that maybe aren't the same level as you, that don't understand things the way that you do. You are leaders. And so one way for leaders to, here's something for you as a leader to do during this time, and what an incredible opportunity for growth right now. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about for the next just like 3 minutes. Most of us are uncomfortable right now, like the situations we're in. We're having to deal with clients in a different way. You're having to show homes in a different way, some virtually. Some of you have never done that before. Some of you are being finally forced. If you didn't take action after one of our Agent Marketing Academy classes, you're being forced to go to video, which is super outside of your comfort zone. But if you want to thrive during this time, it's a necessity. And so it's also a great opportunity for growth during this time. And so that's kind of what I want to speak on. Growth, what that looks like. Growth is related to time under tension, meaning the more time we spend under tension, the greater our ability to grow is. And so if growth is related to time under tension, then our ability to tolerate tension is directly related to our ability to grow. And wow, that's pretty powerful, and that excites me, because you do have an opportunity to experience tension, right? We all are already. But I want you to think about this. My question is, what can you, realtor partners, what can you, leadership at PPR, yeah, even Josh over there as the attorney, what can you do purposefully to create tension right now? Like, what can you do to create tension purposefully in your business, in your life? This could be a lot of different things. Maybe it's finally telling someone how you really feel about them, right? What's on your mind? Telling someone you care about them right now. If this creates tension for you, if that's not something you normally do, well, then it's an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for you to work on that right now during some of this little bit of downtime. Maybe it's learning a new skill. Maybe it's honing a skill that you already have. For PPR agents, maybe it is finally doing that video. Maybe it's practicing your listing presentations that you're not comfortable with. Maybe it's finally working on that one thing that you've been saying over the last year, man, if I could just do this, my business would go to the next level. Man, I really want to work on this in my business, and this would really help me. This is a normal thing for successful companies and successful leaders to do, is to look for ways to purposefully create tension in their business. And now I feel like you have that time to be able to do that. You have that time to do that with other realtor partners. Maybe it's creating a mastermind group of realtors who are similar to you in volume and what you're doing, and holding each other accountable and stepping outside of your comfort zone. I want you to know that Movement Mortgage right now is here for you during this time. We have another Agent Marketing Class Academy, whatever we call it, tomorrow that Larry's doing. It's Facebook Live, I believe. Isn't that right, Nikki?
I believe he has one tomorrow.
Yes, it is. It's Facebook Live. And so this is going to be a great class for you to hop on and go through it with Larry. The similar format to this. You can ask questions. You can pick up a new skill. Larry's going to challenge you to do that. But I want you to know, Movement is here for you. We love you. I want you to also understand the contracts are still coming in. We're seeing the contracts. Our applications are obviously, we're down month over month, because last month, if you remember, rates went to like -2. But on the purchase side, we're not seeing much of a slowdown. There's been a little bit of a lull, but just like Josh said, the contracts are coming in and business is out there. And so please don't listen to that narrative out there right now that things are slow. It's slow for some people. Those are the people that are not purposefully creating tension to experience growth, to go out there and create influence. And so I really want you guys to focus on that. If you have any questions, if you want to hop on a call with me or any of our loan officers who are also purposefully creating tension in their lives to experience growth, please do that. What you focus on expands. So you can focus on the stuff that's negative in your life with regards to COVID-19 and the quarantine, or you can focus on the opportunity. Because I know with each and every crisis or pandemic, right, there is worry, there's stress, but on the other side of that, there's opportunity. And we want you guys to all know that we're going to be here for you on that other side for opportunity, but also right now during the pandemic. And we love you guys.
Awesome.
And that's all I got.
We actually did have, Larry is on right now and he's listening. So he responded with yes. And then another agent responded with yes, tomorrow at 1 p.m. is his Facebook Live. So we've got confirmation on that. And I'm just checking to see if we have any questions, guys. Any questions for Jonathan Garrick, who has done many classes in one of the PPR training rooms over the months, many classes. Hopefully you've been able to participate in those.
What do people get if they scan me? I see the thing that says scan me.
Okay, so if they pull out their phone and they just, scan with their camera, that will take them to your website.
Oh. Well,
that'll take them to your website. So if they need to have your contact information or bookmark it or something, they'll be able to easily do that with their phone.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Philip Rigsby, working on all of the video and technology is a great thing to be kind of brushed up, to be kind of brushed in to during this time. I think that might have been brushed up on during this time. This is something we should be using during the summertime specifically, since a lot of customers are up north every summer.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a great opportunity to catch those second home buyers, people in Ohio, Minnesota, Indiana, those Midwesterners that come down here. It's also, I think what Philip was saying was, it's also kind of forcing us to do things like during this. I know what I'm excited about. I know Eric is excited about. Most of the time, and this is one of the things John talked about yesterday, things are created, new policies, new ways of doing business are created during these really tough times. So I know we're coming out of this a better company. I'm coming out of it a better leader. My loan officers are coming out of it better loan officers, and I know PPR is doing the same things. Your ability to be agile has been incredible. The way that the leadership has worked to stay in front of over 1,200 agents. So the opportunity that's come from this is absolutely fantastic. And what do we know about summers in Southwest Florida? Because this pandemic is going to kind of lead right up to the summer. That's when most small families, people with children in schools, that's when they're moving. So we're not, we're going to see those people who are still looking to purchase and buy. What Josh said, we're going to see those investors that can get in, if they don't want to virtually view a home, that can actually get into homes and start making offers. When I say you're going to see opportunity on the other side of this, man, are you going to see opportunity on the other side of this. Everything that we're reading, everything that we're going through is telling us that you guys are going to see incredible opportunity the second that the quarantine ban is lifted, if you're not seeing it already.
Right. Okay, so Philip, just did a little follow-up. Yes, we are kind of forced into practicing during this time, which will be beneficial for years to come, which is a great point.
And I don't know if this is a question for me other than calling and texting. What sales tactics have you been working on right now? I don't know if that's for Jake, but here's what I would say. I'll leave you guys with one great opportunity to be calling your sphere of influence right now. Your sphere of influence, your past clients, your friends and family. And one of the things, as you call these people, just to check on them, hey, I just wanted to see how things are going. How are you holding up? What you're going to find is 20% of the time, you're going to find someone who, a spouse, either they have lost their job or been furloughed, or they have a friend or a family member So what I have my loan officers doing is reaching out to our realtor partners, but giving the idea to our realtor partners to reach out to your database. Let them know you want to send them some resources. Dave Ramsey has a free online budgeting tool that my wife and I used back in 2010, and we still use it to this day. It's everydollar.com. So it makes you budget every dollar. The book Total Money Makeover on Amazon is like $12. It's normally like 30 bucks. If you're reaching out to your sphere of influence and your database, letting them know you're thinking about them and you want to send them some resources to help either them or a family member if they are experiencing a tough time. And what a powerful statement, what a powerful thing you're going to do. And I promise you, in your database, in your sphere of influence, you'll pick up a listing outside of it, or someone will say, hey, I don't need that, thank you very much, but we're actually thinking of listing our home. So reach out with value, see how, if you can make a difference for somebody. But right now, the Dave Ramsey stuff, although I don't necessarily agree with him on some of his leveraging debt, and yes, he has ownership in a mortgage company, and he has a real estate thing as well. But outside of that, let's take that piece away. The book and the principles are fantastic, and it's a great way to reach out to your sphere. So I don't know if that question was for me, but I wanted to share that.
That's awesome. Todd Golnick is asking, Jonathan, can you still honor your 671 goals?
Yeah, so right now our upfront underwriting, I was just looking at that, is 10.1 hours. So we know our goal, right, is 6 hours. So we're a little bit behind right now coming out of that refi boom at 10 hours. So that means a day and a half. We're still getting you a credit commitment on your borrower. However, Rachel Rango, one of our loan officers this week, made a post on Facebook, an hour and a half. From time of submission with documents and everything out, it came out in an hour and a half. What we are asking right now, though, is if you're looking to close a loan, and you heard Josh on here, we can still physically do it in the time frame that we need to, 8, 10, 14 days. But it doesn't really make sense right now. It's a complete fire drill. And some of it comes down to all of the third-party stuff, right? Everyone else is so backed up right now. Appraisers are backed up from the refi boom, issues with getting into homes, all of that kind of stuff. So we are looking for 30 days right now. We can get it done sooner. We've got some where financing fell through and the seller says, absolutely not, we're not extending. We're still seeing that in this pandemic. If they've got an opportunity at escrow money, some people are just going to take it. So if that's the case, we can still get you closed, but it is a complete fire drill. But 10 hours on the upfront underwriting, we're still processing everything in 7 business days. And then we're closing right now, we're averaging about 22 to 24 days from application to close loan.
Amazing. Okay, so we have a comment from Larry Utterback, one of your loan officers who we get to see at the Vanderbilt office in normal circumstances. Another key right now is stop selling and start helping. Provide context and confidence. We're here to help. Okay, so lots of thank yous too. Thank you, great stuff, Jonathan, from Victor, from Adam D'Armand, from Jessica Loy, awesome advice. Thank you, Movement Mortgage. And Maraiki, is that how you say your name? Shake's wife, Stoutenburgh. I'll have him correct me in a minute. She said, thank you so much. All right, anybody else? Looks like our questions have ended, and we appreciate you so much, Jonathan.
We'll see you guys. Love you all.
All right, and next up is Jake Stoutenburgh, top producing team leader who is also a real estate coach. We are so excited to hear what he has to share. I'm going to change the screen here and make sure, well, let me just let you all see this marketplace perspective. Movement Mortgage just has some amazing core values, what they represent, how they give back, and everything that they do. Hopefully you have learned a little bit about them through what Jonathan shared, but check out their website. And then we have Jake joining us. I'm going to make sure his video is turned on here. Jake Stoutenburgh is primarily up in the Cape. He has an amazing team of leaders. Let's see here. I was chatting with him earlier when he jumped on here. Are you there?
Graham.
There he is.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Glad to see you again. I know we were chatting earlier. So remind me again how to pronounce your wife's name.
Marika.
Marika. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Marika. Yeah. So it's good to see you. And I see we've got quite a few people coming that are logged in here. It's great.
Yeah, almost 100 on here.
Yeah, it's awesome. It just means that people are really really interested in what, how to make themselves better. And I think that just leads into what it takes for us to be successful in this business, and it's a daily practice. I get asked, I've been asked a lot over the last week, what am I doing differently to maintain or to grow, mostly grow the business? I would say everything I was doing before, but contacting people with more of a mindful, not necessarily a sale. I like the comment earlier, let's not go after the salesmanship of this. Let's create value for people. We're all going through something, whether whatever your belief is about this situation, we're all in it, right? We can believe different things about it, but we're all sitting here. And the birth of the opportunity right now of what's happening, if you think about how many people are terrified about what's going on, and then they're staying home while they're doing this, and we can be busy as agents, and we can still create and bring value to people. But if we lay down, if we do not adhere to a schedule, if we don't create some motion in our life, we start to retract. We start to come back in our mental state. What works right now? I mean, agents just starting in this business, talking to you, what an amazing opportunity. If I was a brand new agent starting right now, you're starting with something that's so unique and different. The playing field is totally leveled. If you want to jump into this full force, both feet, get on video, cross merchandise with other people in the business. Attend a lot of Jonathan's trainings. He does trainings all the time. Premier Plus is doing trainings all the time. So what's really working right now? Well, people are looking at homes. I got a showing request the other day through Zillow. So for your brand new agents that are just starting, going through MentorEDGE, please go on and fill out your Zillow profiles to the max. I mean, that means request reviews, fill out your bio, put a YouTube video together, attach it to your bio. Also, that syndicates to Trulia. So you don't have to do anything over there. It'll just show up on Trulia, because Zillow years ago bought out Trulia. Next, I would go and make sure all my profiles on, like, say, Realtor.com are up to snuff. Right now it's like a storm hit us and it moved our house off the foundation, right? And we know what we build foundations off of. It's hard work. It's works. It's creating motion. And how we feel about the work that we have to do is our choice. So right now, looking at this as a huge opportunity is how we look at it as a team, Stoutenburgh Group team. We look at this as a birth for huge opportunity in the sense that there's a lot of noise that's quieted. I don't have to, a lot of you don't know me, but something about me is I don't actually watch sports. I'm not a sports person. And a part of my day previous was to find out what are the sports scores, because if someone calls me up, I have to know this information. Right now, a lot of the information that we are supposed to know, when conversating with people, we don't have to educate ourselves about that. We have a lot of time right now to put the good things in. So how do we do that? Well, I do a daily devotion. I'm a Christian man. I like my Proverbs of the day. If you want someone to tell you how to live and what's the great thing to do, go read the book of James. It's going to help you out tremendously. As far as in the daily, I made a schedule. You know, I'm getting up earlier now, because if I can take an extra 45 minutes more every day, compound over the next 2 weeks, 30 days, what is that going to do for me? That means I'm probably going to get an extra week out of the year. It means I'm going to be that much further ahead in what I want to do and to accomplish in my goals. And while I'm doing that, I'm not doing it just for me. I'm doing it in a way to create value for other people. So I think the biggest thing right now is your mental state. And we say, you know, I've gone to a lot of Tony Robbins events, and I'm also, you know, I do the John Maxwell training, and there's, you know, a lot of us struggle with how to change our state. I want to give you one thing that I would like everybody to do as homework. Yeah, there's 95 people that are on this right now. I'm giving you homework. I want you to get up and move. That means go for a walk, go for a run, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, jump up and down and do some jumping jacks. I want you to get up and sweat. Emotion is created by motion. So if you are staying in your pajamas all day, not getting dressed up for the day, not preparing to win, not taking a shower for that day. I mean, let's call it, you know, some people are staying full on senior college moments. I mean, this is not the time to sit back. So I would encourage you to get out there and create some emotion to improve your emotion. How you feel about things is your choice. So exercise the positive thought process about your current situation. I'm thankful I have a home. I'm thankful I have breath in my lungs. I'm thankful that I'm here today. And I'm thankful that I'm quite possibly in the best environment to grow my business since the Second World War. Honestly, I mean, when have we seen something so great in our lives affect us in such an interesting way? Where's the growth opportunity inside of that? And that's for each and every one of us to dig deep inside. Hey, we can get online and we can find a million ways to sell real estate, right? There's 101 ways to sell houses. Me, I'm a cold calling guy. My wife, Marika, she doesn't cold call a single person. She wouldn't do it to save her life. What are you good at in real estate? Are you good at connecting with people and talking about cooking? Are you great at working out? Are you are you an amazing parent? You know, call other people that you can encourage and talk to them about the things that you're amazing at. This is a time, I'm not an individual that's going to tell you to focus and fix all your weaknesses. I want you to focus and build all your strengths to the max, to the point where you get other folks and surround yourself by people that help you with all of your weaknesses, because there's no growth unless there's uncomfortability and trust. And right now, you know, those of you that are on this call, 94 of you, you have a support system that's incredible. I've never seen another company like this at all. 15 years in the business. I was a leader in another state. I come from Minnesota. You know, this company and their mission and what they want to do for you, they care. So I would encourage you is, if you're struggling with something, reach out to one of your counterparts in the business and touch base with them. Find, you know, when I was in the military, we called it a battle buddy. I want you to find a real estate battle buddy right now. That's your second piece of homework. So your first piece of homework is, I want you to jump around. I want you to come up with a plan to create motion in your life to change some of the emotions that you're feeling. I want you to find a battle buddy. I want you to find somebody in real estate that you can pour into. I want you to pour into somebody else, because what they say, and what it's biblical, if you water somebody else, you'll be watered. Pour into other people right now. And if you think I believe if you think right now that you don't have anything to pour into folks, make sure you go work out or create some emotion and then call people, because you have a lot of value. Everybody is unique in their own way, and you're valuable, and your opinion matters. And there are people that are waiting for you to call them. They may answer the phone and be a little stinky in the beginning. They may say, "Why are you calling? Don't you know what's going on?" Well, yeah, of course you do, you know, but you can create value by saying, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I was thinking about you. And I know that maybe your home was on the market and failed to sell, and I'm not calling to list your home. I was just calling to say that I'm a leader in this real estate market, and the neighborhood in which your house is located, that's my backyard. And I care about people in my neighborhood. I care about my community. I care about people." And let people know where you're at and create that value from a place, from your heart. Don't aim for the pocketbook. Aim for the heart. If you start aiming for the pocketbook, right, you get those type of cold results. You better be perfect. And if any of you are perfect, man, let me know, because I want to follow you. But if you aim for the heart and you choose to experience vulnerability, and if you choose to pour into other people, then people will pour into you. And you'll be so surprised on how quickly they remember you. So what are things that we're doing right now? Well, my wife is like, I totally married up, in case you guys didn't know. I'm like, my wife is like, one, she's way too hot for me. Two, she can cook like anything on the planet. I mean, all I have to do is work. That's it. Everything else is taken care of. So she had an amazing idea of making homemade hand sanitizer, right? Homemade hand sanitizer. And you can make homemade hand sanitizer through, and I'll post some links on how to do that, but create homemade hand sanitizer and drop off some bags for our customers, our current listings that have nothing to do with real estate. We have an emergency Corona kit where went to the dollar store and we drop off a bag with some stuff in it, some coloring books, adult coloring books in Sudoku. You may think this is crazy, but I'm telling you, it's working like it's unbelievable. I put some koozies in there. I'm telling you, this thing is so awesome. And it's not even my idea. It was Marika's idea. It was such a great idea, you know, little coloring pencils, because adults like coloring pencils, I guess. So we dropped this off at their house. And this works with current lists. And I think the whole bag is less than like, I don't know, hon, what maybe like $5-6, pretty cheap. So we dropped this bag off at current listings, people we know, like, and trust, and potential sellers. So we drop it off the front doorstep, and we leave. And all of them call and text and thank us for such an amazing, thoughtful gift that Marika thought of. Not Jake, it wasn't my idea. And it's being so well received. Well, what's that gonna do? That's gonna create space in their life for me. So when this comes back, and it will come back, and it's not gonna, this is not going to be a comeback. My belief system is going to come back fairly quickly and a different, and I believe in like a couple of weeks. And I don't think we're going to have like notice. They're not going to say, okay, we're open tomorrow. It's going to go up. It's going to be so quick and fast, and we're going to recover. And I don't like even saying the word recover, because in the last 7 days, we've had 243 listings and 243 new pendings. That's the same amount of listings as pendings in the last 7 days. Now, is the amount of pendings different? Yes. The amount of pendings are down. But if you think about, what's the attrition rate for listings? Well, by golly, what I'd focus on right now is I'd be getting listings like crazy. I would find a way to add value in a way that you like. Add value in a way that that suits your personality. You know, this is something that is working for us. Other things working for us: the phone. Picking up this phone. We're made to do the things that we said we're going to do. So, third piece of homework. So your first piece of homework is I want you to move around and start creating, you know, motion to change your emotion, right? What's your second piece of homework? Hey, Nikki, what is it? You remember? Do you? What is
Get
it?
a battle buddy.
Get a battle buddy. Nobody goes to war alone. Nobody goes to battle alone. And the third, I want you to reach one and teach one. I want you to reach somebody and I want you to teach somebody. I want you to encourage and I want you to pour into people. Because when you're doing this, you're going to make us all better. We're all going to be sharper. We're all going to help one another. And we're all going to get out of this. And when it starts doing this, the market starts cranking up, that's not the time to start calling people. You need to encourage one another, because what I see is that this is a time that you can do all the things you said you're going to do. You can do all the things you want to do. You know, that book that you bought 5 years ago that you read the first chapter and you haven't read anymore. And you're like, oh yeah, I read Think and Grow Rich. Oh yeah, I read that book. Pick it up and read it. So all that being said, encourage one another. Please, please, please encourage one another. Do not use fear as a tactic. That is not the way to do this business. Call as many people as you can. Your telephone is not broken and you are essential. People want to hear from you. Be the light. And lastly, I see I've got a bunch of questions. I'm going to answer questions. Drop your questions in here. So what I'm going to offer all Premier Plus agents, I'm going to let you know about every morning at 8 o'clock on Instagram. I'm going to do an Instagram live. I'm not going to share the Instagram live. You have to be on the live and then I'm going to delete it. But every morning at 8 o'clock on Instagram, I'm going to go live and I'm going to take 15 minutes on setting the intention for the day. On what is it that I do to keep my mind so mentally sound and continuously show up every day to where I put a tie on and we're totally locked down. You know what I mean? Why? Because I care so much about the people that I'm going to create value for, that I want to show up my best. And I encourage you guys to jump on that. There's no fee for that. It's 100%. You're going to see behind the scenes on what's happening. You're going to meet my dogs and all that sort of thing. So that's what I got so far.
Fantastic. We've got people saying they're in.
Good.
So that's cool.
Call somebody and make sure they're in. Honestly, right?
Right. Very good. That's reaching one, right?
Reaching one, teaching one.
Okay, Christopher Faruja, what is your approach to cold calling someone and what is the content of your call?
Well, it starts with the stating my intention. I do not follow a script. I've read every script on the planet. And when I first started in the real estate business, I found that, when a person calls you and they're reading from a script, can you tell? Right? Hi, how's it going? Is this the business owner? Do you need a loan? You know, like you can hear the script and immediately you pick the phone up and you're like, hot potato. I just want to like hang it up, right? So if you're going to cold call, if you're going to pick the phone up and call people that you don't know, cold call, you should start out differently than others. There are a lot of great people to follow. When I first started, I loved watching Kevin Ward, YouTube videos of Kevin Ward about cold calling. when I introduce myself, I identify myself immediately because I think that's well, one, it's what you're supposed to do, and two, it's etiquette. And I ask if they have the time to even speak to me, because their time is more valuable to me than mine at that moment, and I want them to know that I respect them. So my phone call is identification. Who am I? If they have time to speak with me because I have important neighborhood information that I'd like to share with them. And no, this is not a sales call. And what you're going to find is that the world in the cold calling world is broken up into three categories. People that hate you, right? The people that you will cold call and they will say, all the things you can imagine, right? Great, you're gonna get those. You're gonna get those, and then you're gonna get the people that love you, which is that other 1/3 of the population. They just love you. They like you, love you. They want to help you. They don't even know why. It's just, they're just your people. And then there's that 33% of people that just don't care, right? So what Zillow says, national sales average, close average on an agent's like 7%. So if you could close 7% of the 33% of the people that love you, and all you did was focus on people, you're going to have to make phone calls that gets you off the phone to get you to your people. So you may run into a bear trap, and getting off the phone with somebody that's angry is not hanging up on them. It's, hey, I'm so terribly sorry that you feel that way. I'm just calling you to add value. I'm doing the best I can here to feed my family, and I'm really interested in helping you. And if you're looking for an agent that does things differently, I'd welcome the opportunity to interview for the job. However, if you don't receive this well, then that's I apologize, and I hope you get 100,000 more for your home than previously listed. I mean, I want the best for you, and then I send them follow up. So when you're cold calling, if you need a plan for following up. That's where the magic happens. Call everybody you want, call them all once. Maybe you'll get some. Call them all, send them something of value, follow up to make sure they got said piece of value, call them again, give them more value information, market information, call them again, contact them again, send them something else continuously, because they're your customer for life. And you're going to do that even after they buy. You're just going to change the value that you send them. So when I say like this storm has kind of pushed the house off the foundation, well, it sure has. And the cool part about that is if you were doing business before and your foundation was built off of toothpicks, and you were starting to sell and everything was great, and right now you're blowing off the foundation, man, what a great opportunity now to rebuild your foundation. Because when I tell you the real estate market is going to come back so fast and roaring like a lion, yeah, there's going to be problems, but I'm talking about sales. I was in the business 15 years ago where we had a market crash, right? I was brand new. I became the #1 agent in the state of Minnesota in 18 months because all the real estate agents talked about how bad it was. They focused on the negative side of the business. I do not believe for 1 minute that, Sally and Pat down the road are going to have another baby. They're having another baby. Do you know how many people are going to have babies in 9 months from now? Lots. And they're going to be living in a 3-bedroom home. They're packed to the gills, and now they need a 4-bedroom home. The trick is going to be they're going to have the same budget. So you may have to work a little differently to find them that property. They may have a little bit of pain in their lives, maybe moving into a different area where the price point matches what their needs are. So I would focus on what are people actually doing, pay attention. And that's where when you reach one, teach one, You call somebody you encourage, you call another person you are encouraged, you get information in the meantime, and you don't hold that information. It's invaluable, so you give it freely, and watch how you will be watered. I spoke with I won't mention his name, but top listing agent, sold $110 million last year in our local market. He showed properties yesterday out on the islands. Over one was like, he told me like 5.5 million, and he had $3 million showing. And how encouraging is that? You see on our sales, multi-million-dollar sales are happening. There are people that prescribe to every thought process. Find your people and just continue to grow inside of that. And then eventually you'll get the people that don't care about you. And then the people that hate you will have to do business with you because you're awesome. And they need your help too. So I feel that that this is a great time. I think that you guys are, you should be very encouraged to have a company that's even doing this.
Right.
This is incredible, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've spoken with some big companies in town recently. They're not doing this. So, and they're cutting budgets. We're doing great in the grand scheme of things. So let's continue to do great. Let's continue to encourage one another. Please, it's for your benefit. You don't have to follow me on Instagram. I'm not asking you for more followers, but if you want free, valuable information, I'm putting together free, valuable information that helps me. I'm going to share with you. So
Great. Thank you so much. So valuable. I know there are people, just lots of comments here. Thank you for the great information, for your input, and for the focus on helping people. That's where it's at.
Awesome.
And that's why we're here, right?
Yeah, no, it's great. This is so cool. I mean, the Premier Plus cares, all the stuff that Premier Plus is doing. I just, every time Premier Plus comes out with another thing, I'm like, how can they do that? Like, how can they do another thing? How can they offer us one more thing? We're a 100% company. Like, it's amazing, truly. And it's kudos to all of you. You guys are putting in a lot of work. I see how much work you guys are putting in and how much care and diligence you're taking. You really care about our business. The way we're getting, our commissions, super easy. You just go on the Premier Plus page. It's right there in the announcements. If you haven't done it already, it's a good exercise to go through.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
it's really good.
All right. Thank you so much. We have amazing leadership, and we appreciate you coming in and, responding to our request for you to pour value into these agents. And we just really are appreciative of your input, for your team's input, and for joining us today. I'm going to move on to some of our other leadership. We do have amazing leadership. Jake was right on talking about the things that, just the values that Eric and Dave Gallus have brought into this company. And you all know that. That's why you're here. So thanks, Jake. And we'll look for you at 8 a.m. tomorrow on Instagram.
Sounds great.
All right. We will be welcoming. Oh, there's Eric.
Hey, Jake. Hey, I just want to jump in real quick, Jake. I'm so encouraged by you, man. I'm not even actively working in the market, but that was so inspirational, man. I want to jump out of my seat now. I want to move around. I want to go find my battle buddy, and yeah, I want to teach one. So I'm fired up myself. Thank you for jumping on here and being a panelist. I appreciate you, our friendship, everything that you're doing with your team and your family. And keep at it, man. You're doing a great job. Appreciate you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And we have Jessica Loy here, ready to jump in. Can you turn your video on, Jessica?
I can.
Associate broker
Hi, good
Jessica
morning.
Loy.
How are you guys doing? Happy Wednesday. This is exciting. I mean, Jake, wow. I'm just floored by the information you just shared with everyone this morning. like Eric said, I'm ready to jump out of my seat and get back into real estate. I mean, yes, it's a crazy time we're living in, but all the ideas that we get to be creative and come up with, not just in real estate, but I mean, just in general, in life in general, that was some extremely important information. I hope everyone was able to write down their notes as fast as he was giving those good tips, because I'm ready to find my battle buddy too. I love that. There was actually one thing that Jake had mentioned earlier, and I just wanted to talk a little bit more about when he said that the playing field has been leveled. Especially because with our MentorEDGE support team, we really work hand in hand with our newly licensed agents. And when he said that, I mean, it is so true. We're telling our newly licensed agents, the playing field has leveled for you guys to get started. They're hungry, they're new, they're trying to reach their customers and their points of contacts and build that database. And being able to be creative and excited about a new career, they have no problems taking the next steps, looking at all of these new tools that they're already beginning to familiarize themselves with. So I gotta say, our experienced agents, if we're not stepping up to the plate to be able to also adapt with what we're with the changes that we're working on, these newly licensed agents coming in, we don't, we've got to really practice our skills, if not create new skills to be different, to be out of the box. We know the statistics of how many realtors are just in our Southwest Florida market, but it's that connection with, I believe, our customers right now that are in this low, moment of their time, of their life right now with everything going on, that they just want to have that conversation. They just want to communicate with everybody. And I think, like Jake had said, once we're just bouncing back into our good real estate market after all this is done, those that had the chance to communicate now with their customers will get that opportunity to work with them later, because we're going to stick with them now. So thank you again, Jake. On behalf of all of us, that was just some wonderful information, and looking forward to seeing those Instagram posts too. So for my newly licensed agents that are a part of our class this morning, I see we have a handful on there. I know if you're not joining the classes that we have going on right now, since we are now on week number 2 for MentorEDGE Real Estate Training Live, by all means, check out the MentorEDGE tab you have in the agent intranet. You'll be able to view all the class details, the materials that we pass out, but also register for our upcoming classes. We actually have Ashley coming on later on at 1 today to talk to our MentorEDGE agents about disc personalities and playing well with others, how to adapt to your customers and their behavioral styles when you are trying to have these first conversations with them. Certain objections that there are going to come up, and having that practice or practicing your scripts, or what you're at least going to respond back to that conversation or that question, and help them move forward to accomplishing what it is that they're wanting to accomplish. Selling a home, buying a home. I mean, yes, we did see it slowed down a little bit in the very beginning. I would say like the middle of March for MentorEDGE agents, but this past week, I mean, I feel like it's as busy as it has been before. I just get to work from home and do what we're doing the same way. So we're all still adapting. We're all still learning and growing with the use of our technology capabilities. I know we're trying to figure out these open house virtual tours. We're trying to figure out how to connect with our customers only online right now, since it's difficult to meet in person and have face-to-face meetings right now. But we can do it. It's not impossible. It's the more you use it, the more you join our meetings and get to play around with Zoom, the more you'll be familiar with it, and you can easily reach out to your customers and teach them how to use Zoom too. Just little things like that to be outside of the box, working with your customers. I also do want to mention, the end of March, we went live with a Facebook private group for our MentorEDGE agents as well. That way we're able to keep tips and upcoming class reminders just at the top of the news feed for you guys to be able to quickly log in and access. So if you haven't received or joined the group, check your inbox, check your text we've been sending out, join your group private invitations, and by all means, feel free to join us for some training as we're adapting our presentations to, to go with what we're working with now, and that's okay. And we're just learning more. So more power to us, right? Awesome. Well, if you guys have any questions, my contact information is on the screen. For those that are looking at Premier Plus Real, or have friends that are looking at Premier Plus Realty, or other acquaintances getting their license in the near future, MentorEDGE Real Estate Training Program it's an 8-week program. It's got tons of speakers from our attorneys, from our movement mortgage companies, our company, from speakers of Premier Plus Realty. We just really pack it full with lots of ideas and inspiration, and also, understanding the contracts, of course, and the legal side of things. But we keep it fun, we keep it entertaining, but we're also educating you guys at the same time. So join us for those. You'll see all the class details. Otherwise, if you have questions, by all means, feel free to reach out to me.
And I see that Jillian put the link in the chat box to take anyone who wants to go check it out, that Facebook MentorEDGE group. So if you previously were in MentorEDGE, you would be able to be a part of that, correct?
Correct.
Or currently?
Yeah.
Okay. So hit that link in the chat box. You should all see that. Facebook.com/groups/MentorEDGE, because that's also a great place for any agents to ask questions, ask for people's input on scenarios that they're going through, correct? A great support
Absolutely.
system.
Yep, we're certainly using it to share more tips. We've got mentor moments, and we've been collecting and creating a database of recorded classes or tips and tricks. That way it's a nice little place for you guys to keep going back and forth to reference new things as they come up in your transactions at that time.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Jessica. Okay, we are moving right along here, and we are going to see if Dave Coppock, there he is, our broker in Lee County, has some great things to share with us. And then Marlo Rhymes will also be joining us. I don't know if you guys want to come on together, or if you have some things you want to share first, Dave.
Probably separately, yeah.
Okay,
but
great.
What a great meeting. I mean,
yes.
How fantastic is this? All the content, it's really blowing my mind. So thanks, and I appreciate everybody who's on the meeting today. And just wanted to let you know a little bit about what we've been doing and seeing over the last couple weeks. I've been reaching out to agents about a handful a day, just to let them know that we're here for them, and we're supporting them, and kind of find out what's going on in their business and how they're navigating through this a little bit. Had some great conversations with people. Also been working a lot on becoming familiar with the local boards and local contracts, city and county ordinances, guidelines that pertain to real estate through federal as well. And I'll tell you, I'm hearing a lot from the agents that, look, my buyers aren't coming down right now. There's going to be a swarm once those floodgates open. And so that's fantastic. And our company, our closings were up 30% year over year from March 19 to March 20. So the closings are still coming in daily. We obviously are seeing some fall apart. We did have one of our buyers lost a $40,000 deposit just because it was a $1 million house. And so we are seeing a little bit of that, but otherwise, things are going strong. Closings as far as April, we're down 2%, month to date, halfway through the month. We've had pendings in April of 107 and new listings of 86. So business is still there. We're certainly seeing it. Listings are coming in steady. had an agent that I spoke with yesterday doing my calls who said, and I helped her with her listing. I just listed my house. Now I've got it pending and had some questions. So she got it pending she got an offer within 9 hours of it, and it came in at full price, and now it's under contract with a small concession. So the listings are still coming in. We haven't seen that drop in listing prices up in Lee County. So, I mean, this is supply and demand. So it's really encouraging to see that going on. Other than that, some helpful information. I think agents really need to be aware of the clear cooperation policy that takes effect May 1st. If y'all are not familiar with that, I'll have y'all put a link on our website for it. But essentially what it is it's called NAR 8.0, that when marketing a property, you have to put it into MLS within 24 hours. And the fines are extremely significant. This comes down from NAR, and it's really to make sure that all realtors have access to the listing equally. So the fine for the first violation is $750, and it goes up to $1,000, $1,500, and then a 30-day suspension. So everyone needs to understand that listing has to be in MLS within 24 hours of the listing start date. Also wanted to let you know that IRS is granted a deadline for 1031 exchanges and like-kind exchanges. Also, FAR is doing live streaming for your continuing ed. So you can go in there, and the classes that you used to have to sit in, you can now go in there now and stream those. There's also something from NAR. It's called telehealth, and we can put that link on there as well. But it's not insurance, but for realtors, they're giving a huge discount, and you can have access to prescriptions and a doctor visit, all of this for about $3 a month for the next 2 months. So it's called telehealth, and we'll go ahead and put that on our website as well. So people that don't have insurance or have a lapse in it, really a great thing for them. Other than that, just wanted to thank everybody for doing this. All your support, Nikki, Jillian, Jessica, fantastic. I mean, this is just a great team. And for you agents, I just wanted to, stress to be patient and reasonable with your sellers. It's a tough time right now, but, reach out, just as Jake said, and Jonathan. I mean, connect, elevate, inspire your people with your messaging, and get out of your comfort zone. I love what Jake said about getting your battle buddy and getting up and getting excited. And I talked the other day on the broker meeting about mind, body, and soul, right? Because we can get caught up in this, oh, what's going on? And, do your workouts every day, work on your faith and get your mind right every day. Get up every morning and say, what can I do today to grow my business, right? And get your mind flowing. So anyway, I always like to close with work on your skill sets, your attitude, and your habits. And so grateful to be with this company, and I really appreciate it. I also have my Collect Joy mug too.
So good. There's Jillian.
Hey, David, I heard you talk about the clear cooperation policy, and wanted to super quickly, and another broker, you guys can jump in as well, but really fast, wanted to share my screen with you so that you would be able to see this policy. And actually, I believe that the policy says that it's not that you have to enter it into the MLS within 24 hours of having a listing contract, but it's actually within 1 business day of marketing a property
Correct.
to the public. So
yeah, I'm sorry, you're right.
oh
It's a
yeah,
business
so
day.
that would
Yeah.
mean, like, if you're going to put it on Facebook, or if you're going to, put a sign up in the yard, or anything that would be public, you then need to, let's say you do it on a Friday night, then by Monday it needs to be entered.
Exactly. I apologize. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, great. So Nikki, you can share your screen again. I just wanted to clarify. Thank you, David.
Can I jump in, you guys? So they did clarify you can market the property within the brokerage. And so lucky for all of you guys, you know, there's over 13, almost 1,400 agents here at PPR, and you can market the property within the agents here. So via message board or whatever it is. But as soon as it's marketed to the general public or to other brokers, then it must be entered into the MLS within 24 hours. And we'll be putting on more definition on the clear cooperation policy as we find out more and more information on it. Now, the National Association of Realtors has also stated that they are relying on the local boards to supervise. So they have the policy 8.0 in effect. The local boards are stating they will not start enforcing anything until May 1st. Now, Marco Island, they are enforcing. So it's at a board level also. So just be familiar if you're doing any off-market or pocket listings, be very, very clear on the policy because they will be supervising on that policy.
Great, great, great. Okay, let's get, are you still here, David? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Dave, oh, Jake, did you have something you wanted to ask? Okay. Dave, there is a question for you. Can you give the details of why the buyer lost the money in the deposit that you talked about earlier? Was it COVID related?
To be honest, it was just their financial brokerage said, you've just gone down about 35% in the stock market, and it's $1 million house, and you might as well cut your losses and just walk away from it. So we tried everything to save it, and it was just, just Goldman Sachs saying, don't do it. So, but that's really what it was, is they felt like losing the 40 grand would be better than perhaps a potential alternative.
Okay, awesome. Great. Thanks, Dave. And I'm going to allow y'all to still put questions in here, but I'm going to ask Marlo to jump in here, our broker in Collier County. And actually, she's been all over the place, hasn't she? Bonita, Cape, until we got Dave Coppock on. So Marlo, everyone knows Marlo. Let's see if she can turn her video on. Marlo, are you there?
It's not letting me. There we go. I was trying.
There you are.
Hi, everybody. So a lot of the stuff that I was going to talk about, Eric covered. The one thing that we have to remember, our broker David is with the Fort Myers board, so things are different there. They do have a 24-hour, once it's signed, getting into the MLS, but obviously with the clear cooperation, we're talking about the marketing side. So I won't get back into that. I really wanted to talk to you about you. What's important right now is you take time for you. But you also take time for you and your business, you as a spouse, you as a mom or a dad, a parent, a brother, a grandchild. It's really easy right now to get offended because we're talking more through text messaging. We're in the same house with the same people all the time. We don't get that space away. And so I think it's important to encourage you to get some time to, like Jake said, get up, go for a walk, find your peace. Faith is now. That's another thing I want to encourage you with. Faith is now. Hope is that expectation of future goods, but faith is right now. So get up, go for a walk, and find out, where is your faith right now? Where are you focusing what you're hearing and putting action towards it? I like what Jake said also about getting into the Proverbs, because that's where you can find a lot of your next steps in what we're doing right now. The diligent bear rule, so if you got the hand of a diligent person, you're going to be successful. They're just great, wise counsel. Don't get involved with the fight. Like Josh had said, take off the ability to grab a bulldog by the ears, because the moment you let that bulldog go, it's going to start snapping at you. And you don't have the experience to grab that bulldog, but your attorneys do. So let them do the fighting for you. It's not time right now to not use assistance with attorney's help. I can tell you the phone calls that David Coppock, David Gallus, Eric Gallus, and myself are getting, Jessica's getting as well, is the deal's falling apart, and now what do? There's money being involved, there's fears and going on, and so there's, like I said, there's opportunity for offenses. Offenses is a trap. It's there to trap you up, to trip you, to make you stumble and to fall. So stay focused on the end goal, and that is to be a gift. You are such a gift to us, and I know you're a gift to your customers. So get away from it, deplug for just a little bit, put it in your schedule to deplug and find your faith. What is going on in this mental mind of yours? If it's chaotic, slow it down. You can say with this mouth all you want, but if that heart is not in congruency, it's not in agreement. So just get away, stop for a second, ask yourself some questions, discuss it with yourself, mentally slow it down to find out, where am I and what am I doing and how can I do it better? So I just want to encourage you. We are praying for you. We love you all. We're home, but we're still busy. So if you need to reach out to me and talk, feel free to call. Don't think that I'm so busy I can't pick up that phone. So feel free to give any of us a call. We're there for you.
Awesome. Would you like me to play this little 1-minute video from Caroline Leaf, Marlo?
Yeah, she's awesome. Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Dr. Caroline Leaf, and here's your mental self-care tip of the week.
Shoot, it's not. There's
How to improve your own healing by helping others. So when you reach out and help others, research has shown that our immune system function, and in fact our whole healing of our body responds by a 60% factor. So you increase your physical healing and your mental healing by a factor of 60% plus when you reach out and help other people. Here's your mental self-care tip of the week. How to improve your own healing by helping others. So when you reach out and help others, research has shown that our immune system function, and in fact our whole healing of our body responds by a 60% factor. So you increase your physical healing and your mental healing by a factor of 60% plus when you reach out and help other people. So in the midst of your crisis, if you pick up the phone, send that text, go and sit with someone and talk to them, or maybe you have someone sitting and talking to you. You maybe now, you've just received that help, now you can go and help someone else. So when we reach out and help others, we boost our immune system, we improve our healing. For more tips on this, get my book, Think, Learn, Succeed.
Yeah, it was totally not to be an infomercial for her book, but it just is good information. Do you have time for that other?
Hi, I'm Dr. Caroline Leaf, and here
I have an Ellen one here.
Oh, no, not that one.
Not this one.
I mean, you can do it, but that wasn't the one I was. Yeah, that's fine. This is a funny guy. So just enjoy the laugh, because that's what we need to do once in a while.
Okay, this is a listing. These are all real listings. This is a listing for a house here in Los Angeles, and let's read it together. It says, this is an upgraded unit. Show it to your fuzziest buyers. They won't be disappointed. At first I thought it was just a misprint, and then I saw what they were selling. This is a listing for a house in Australia, and here's a photo that's nice outside, and then inside it looks fine. Here's a dining room, and then here's a normal kitchen, and then there's this room. The owner is willing to accept offers in cash or QVC gift cards. It really is the perfect house if you've always wanted 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and nightmares. This is a house, this is for sale, and it says, a private world for you and your dong. Isn't that wonderful? It's not just for sale, you can rent it by the hour. All right, if you have any real estate listings you think I should see, please send them to me. Okay, this is a listing. These are
Okay. Anything else from you, Marlo?
No, like I said, if you guys just need to talk to somebody or if you have questions, don't not call. You call me and you say, oh, I know you're so busy. And yeah, that's true, but that's what we're here to do. You are our priority. So have a good day.
All right, thank you. I don't see any other questions here from anybody. And I know we went a little bit long today, but this was so good. All of the content was super valuable. And I do believe that it is planned that we will share this so y'all can see it later as well. And people who've missed it can see it as well. So thank you everybody for joining us for our company sales meeting. And we will follow up with putting a lot of these links on our intranet so that, you know, the things that we spoke about today, you all will be able to access those as well. And if you have any questions, like Marlo said, we are here for you. Please reach out. Do your homework that Jake gave us. You know, go out there, move, and find a battle buddy and reach one and teach one. And so we just appreciate everyone being here, and we will see you soon. Bye, Jake.